Welcome back, my friends, and this is Christy from Funky Junk Inspiration. Today's YouTube playlist is Floral Painting Challenge by A Common Canvas. Our hosts are Jeannie from Jeannie's Palette and Z9 Designs. Make sure you go check them out. Alrighty, let's get started here. I'm just going to use some dictionary pages. I'm going to do something a little different. A Common Canvas is normally all about painting. Just need to use some paint. I'm going to use some watercolor paint. I'm not going to paint my flowers though. We're going to take this watercolor paint and we are just going to make us about 4 pages of all these different colors of paint and just do a fun background. That's what we're going to do. This is something that I enjoy doing. I absolutely love making fun backgrounds for things, and I just really like to do this. Now, my watercolor palette is just a very inexpensive watercolor palette. I believe it came from Dollar General or one of the dollar stores. I'm not positive. But it was not an expensive watercolor palette, so you don't need to go out and buy an expensive one if you're just wanting to play around like I do. Now, if you really want to get into watercolor, that's a whole different story, which I would love to really get into. I love to watch people do watercolor paintings and stuff on videos here on YouTube. I love that. I absolutely love it. And it's something that I would love to learn to do eventually. It's just I never have the time to sit down and do that. So, but it is something that I do want to do. So I just play. I just play around. I keep putting paint on stuff until I like the way it looks. Now here I'm just putting orange and yellows, and I did on the other one some pinks and purples and some orange and some blues, and we'll do another couple pages here. You want it a little bit darker, you just add more paint. If you want it a little bit lighter, just add some more water. That's what's kind of cool about it. Something else that's really cool about watercolor paint is as you let it dry, if you let it dry and then you layer on top of it, you can get a darker effect, a lot of shadowing and things like that. You just can't reactivate the paint, basically. Now, if you're just wanting to play around like I am, you don't have to go buy a watercolor palette. You could use your acrylic paints and just water them down. Get your brush wet, put a little water on a little bowl or whatever. Mix the paint together. However you may want to do that. It's just totally up to you. But I would suggest that if you are going to put water in your paint bottle, make sure it is distilled water. I wouldn't suggest doing that, but if you do that, I would make sure that it is distilled water because you don't want your paint to mold or whatever. Or if you're dipping into your paint with a wet paintbrush. Does that make sense? Anyway, because your paint will mold. Water does have bacteria in it. I don't care what anybody says. It just has a little bit of bacteria in it. Okay, so as you can see, I kind of did a green and yellow, purple and blue, all that kind of stuff. The magic of YouTube, I paused the video there and I actually blow dried the papers, so they are pretty dry. Not all the way dry, not as dry as they would be if I'd let them sit overnight, but you know. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get my stamps out. And I've got these few little, just small little stamps. I believe these came from Temu a while back. I'm not positive. I've had them for a minute. I did not mean to yawn, you guys. I apologize for that. But I'm just going to stamp on here with these. And I think that turns out really, really cute. Now, what I'm making here, I don't think I ever did say exactly what I was making. I'm making some ephemera for my junk journals or for my journals. So I'm just kind of, I did a random background. I'm stamping the florals on here. Then we're going to cut them out and use them in our journals. So something very simple, very easy. Something else that I love to do is I love to doodle. Doodle is one of my most favorite things to do. I'm going to use this micron pen, and we're going to make a daisy here. Okay, now what I did first was I drew a circle, and then I drew some spokes out from the circle. Okay, what that spoke does is that helps you align your petals a little bit better. So that's what I did here. Now, something else that's kind of fun to do is if you go back and forth over your drawings when you're doodling and stuff like that, it doesn't have to be perfect. It kind of makes it look whimsical and like you meant it to be kind of a scribble doodle type of thing, but I think those turn out really cute. Okay, so now I jump over here. Now I'm going to attempt to do a tulip. Now, don't ask me what happened on this tulip, but it is not right. It did not turn out very good, but that's okay. I ended up not using it, but it's just a piece of paper. It's just some water and a little bit of paint and a little bit of time. So if it doesn't come out the way you want it, it's not a big loss, right? Okay, we're going to put some leaves on here. And I put those big leaves on there, so I still don't like that tulip. I'm probably not going to use it. It's just kind of weird, kind of too big. I started to do another one. It didn't turn out right either. The easiest flower to draw is a tulip, and Christy can't do it. That's kind of funny. Now I'm going to get my gel pens out because my Micron doesn't, it's running out of ink, you guys. I need to get some more. I need to make a list. There's a whole list of things that I need to get. So I just got these gel pens out. And I kind of did another flower with a bunch of petals on it. Really couldn't see that pink through there. I was thinking you guys could probably see it better than I can. But now that I'm watching the video back, I could not. So I just decided to go over with blue. I just kind of went in the same spots there. And so we have another flower. I want to apologize. I keep yawning. This is not boring to me. I didn't get much sleep today, and for some reason, I have got the yawns right now, and I want to apologize. Anyway, so we're just going to make some more flowers. They are kind of hard to see on here, but you'll see them when we get done, how cute they look. I ended up grabbing a black pen out. Now here I make it another little daisy type, but I added a lot more little pinwheels on there, or not really pinwheels, but like spokes on there to do my flowers. So see how that turned out? You can really see that one good. And I really, really like how they turned out. Now I just kind of went around it one time, kind of outlined it kind of like you would a sticker, and then I went around again. And now I'm just going to kind of doodle. I'm just going to draw lines in that out part right there. I think that turned out really cute. It's just kind of something a little bit different. Is it what a flower looks like? No, not normally, but I think it's cute. So anyway, so here we go. We're going to cut all these out, and I'm going to get them all cut out and laid out here so that you can see what they look like. I think once you cut them out, everything really stands out really cool on them. Now, these dictionary pages had a couple flowers in the margins, so I'm just going to cut those out too. I mean, because why not? It's all about florals, right? So anyway, it's just all about the flowers and all that kind of stuff. So I'm just laying that there. Now this paper here, even though I'm not using all of it, I didn't stamp all over it. I didn't draw all over it. If time would allowed, I could have made a whole bunch of different flowers, different shapes. I think it'd be fun just to do fun little shapes and stuff on this paper and then cut it out to randomly put in your book. But I will use this paper. I'll use it in collaging or, like I said, I'll do some more stamping on it or some more drawing on it and then cut them out. I love to doodle and just draw little things, lines and triangles and squares and oh my, right? So anyway, so here we go. We're cutting this out. Now, if you'll notice that sometimes I'm really close to the black line and then sometimes I'm way out away from it. That's what makes it look even more whimsical and fun. There's not a perfection thing to it, and it just makes you kind of smile when you look at it because it just looks like it's fun. That is my opinion. Right there. Now, this I'm just going to cut a circle. I did not cut that tulip out. I do not like that tulip. That tulip is not going to exist in my life. So anyway, we're going to cut that tulip out and toss it. But anyway, I wanted to show you, here's one of my junk journals, and I'm just showing you that it would be fun to put, not necessarily on those pages that I showed you, but right here, this might be kind of cool to put here. That was from a playlist we had a few weeks ago, or no, on a live event over on Facebook. All right, so now we have made our own ephemera. You could see it right there on that white paper. That really made it stand out a little bit. Thank you, Jeannie, for allowing me to be in your playlist today. I want to thank our host, Jeannie from Jeannie's Palette and Z9 Designs. Make sure you go check them out. Love it if you subscribe to my channel, hit that bell, and you get notifications when I do post a new video. And I appreciate y'all being here. Bye-bye.